and thank you for watching The Righteous Kitchen, a cooking and baking blog found at www.therighteouskitchen.blogspot.com. Today I am going to walk you through my recipe for Pico De Gallo. Now that's a fresh accompaniment to your Mexican dishes. It's great on tacos, burritos, your standard Mexican fare, but you can also use it in more than just that. It's a nice topping to soups, scrambled eggs, and I also use it as a shortcut ingredient to my guacamole. All right, so what I've done is I have a bunch of cilantro, and when you get your cilantro home, you're gonna wanna wash it really good. Now, a lot of recipes, they'll chop up the cilantro with the stems and all, and I don't do that. I just pick off the stem. For me, it's just a personal preference. I do know that there's flavor in the stems, but I just don't care for that. I just want the leaves only. So I have the leaves from one bunch of cilantro, so I'm just going to put that off to the side. And then I have a large onion, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in half. I'm probably only going to use half of it. I don't like a ton of onion in my pico. But this recipe here is pretty basic. It's just cilantro, onion, and tomatoes. The quantities are really up to you. I probably, try to get it even, maybe a little bit less on the onion. And I'm just gonna give this a quick dice. And then what I do is I want this all chopped together. So a shortcut to do that is just to dice the onions and the cilantro together, and then that's gonna chop everything into a nice dice. It's also gonna keep that onion from coming and irritating your eyes. And I'm happy with that dice there. It's a really fine dice. Everything is blended together. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this in a mixing bowl. Okay, so the cilantro and onions are in the mixing bowl. I'm going to go ahead and put that off to the side. And I have Roma tomatoes. I like the Romas because they're easy to de-seed. So I've cut the ends. I'm going to cut right down the middle. And then I'm going to get a spoon and just scoop the seeds right into this bowl here. All right, and you can see how easy that was. Then just lay it flat. Now, this was a little bit tough to get in there, so you could use your knife too. You just want to cut out that center and then scrape the seeds. Now, this is something they don't do in the restaurants a lot either, but when you're cooking at home, you can, refine your dish a little bit. So I have the tomatoes de-seeded, and here's all the tomatoes and all that stock that's not going into my pico. So, like I said, you don't have to do the de-seeding or the removing of the stems. That's a preference. But what I want to do is just go ahead and dice these. So just cut them into strips, and then give them a nice dice. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get these into the bowl. Okay, we've got everything in here. I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of righteous seasoning just to start. I can adjust this later if I need to. So I've got half a teaspoon, and I have a lime, and I'm just gonna roll it on the board just to soften it up and bring up those juices. All right, I'm just gonna half this, and I'm gonna start with half of a lime first. We'll see how much lime. We're getting quite a bit. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and stir it. Bring all of our ingredients together. You're going to want to let this set a couple of hours for all the flavors to develop. All right, I'm going to give it a quick taste and kind of see where we're at on our seasonings. I'm going to give it another about a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put this other half of the lime in. So we're using a whole lime and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Let me stir it up really good. All right, let me. All right, that's really good. Okay. Very good. So what I'm going to do is just transfer this to an airtight container. All right, so there it is. Fresh Pico De Gallo. I'm going to let this sit in the refrigerator for a few hours and let the flavors come together. Then I'm going to turn it into an ingredient for guacamole. And then it's going to be a topping for chicken enchiladas. But isn't that beautiful? I'll come back and get some pictures of it for you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.